Hey, it's Joe. Another question. This was from Jeffrey Nelson. Jeffrey, I hope all is well with you and your family. Yes, thank you. It's I got a great family, a couple of good kids. And question is, would it be accurate to say that a majority of your students make money in the mentor program? This is cut off, so I think that's what you're asking. So the answer is, I'm guessing that it's somewhere between 20 and 40% of my mentor students actually make money. Now, of the people that are actually using the auto marketer, I'd say it's probably closer to 20%, and it fluctuates depending on the year and the people and a lot of things that can have an impact. I can also tell you that 100% of the people who do the work that I teach them to do in my mentor program make money. The people that don't make money are the people that don't do the work. I ask them to commit to me that they're going to put in 8 to 10 hours a week in this program and do the work that I teach them to do at the beginning. And that's going to be making phone calls and making offers. And that can be uncomfortable for people. And life can get in the way, and you can get discouraged, and you can give up. So you have to come at it with a little bit of internal fortitude and make sure you do the work. So if you do the work, yes, I guarantee you'll make money. If you don't do the work, I guarantee you won't make any money. And what's frustrating for me, and I think the reason that my conversion rate, and by the way, if you look at this industry in general of teaching real estate, the conversion rate or the success rate is typically 5%. So even for the people that I'm not working with personally, it's 4 times that, 400% better. If you look at my mentor students, it's substantially more than that that are succeeding. And the reason they're succeeding is because we spend a lot of time learning how to talk to sellers, learning how to approach this process, learning how to be an entrepreneur, not just in the way you're thinking about the deals, but in the way you're approaching the process, the way you're approaching people, how you treat people, what's important to you. Because being an entrepreneur, in my opinion, is not just about making a pile of money. It's also about having a sustainable lifestyle that gives you freedom. I'm more interested in buying experiences than I am in buying junk or buying stuff. I don't need a bigger house. I don't need a more expensive car. I want to go, travel. I want to go make a movie. I want to go send my kids to college. I want to do things. I want to, for myself and the people that I love, and make sure that we have the ability to do that. Now, I probably work, 40 hours a week, all the different things that I do, but I've got a bunch of different businesses that keep me going. And I have, as an entrepreneur, and you're probably the same way as I am, you probably like to do different things, and you're always looking at the next shiny thing. The grass is always greener. So you're always looking at what the next thing could be. But you don't want to move on to the next thing until you get this thing working. Get this thing working first. You're the plate spinner at the circus. So you got your stick, you got your plate, you start spinning it, and you get that thing balanced. And once you get it, you have income coming in, right? And then you put the next stick on, you put the next plate on, you get that spinning, and you get that one going. Then you get the next one, and the next one. It's a blast because you're not doing all the grunt work. You're just doing the oversight to make sure that it's getting done, and you're setting up the systems to make sure that all these things interact properly. And some people, this person over here in this business also works in this business over here for me, because their jobs overlap. So I don't have to pay for 2 different people. I pay for one. So your economy of scale gets better, and you can do more and more as you go through the process. So does everybody succeed? No. But everybody who does the work succeeds. And if you'll do the work, if you'll follow through, you will succeed. If you're not in the mentor program, if you don't have my help personally, you can still succeed. You don't have to have my help. It's easier with me. If I were trying to change the oil in a diesel engine, I'd be looking at that thing and say, well, what do I do now? I could get out a book and I could read through the book and, I could figure out, okay, I do this and I turn this and okay, maybe this, but it kind of looks like that, and I could figure out what it is. And that's okay, that works. And I've done a lot of things that I've been successful with where I just got the stuff out of a book. But if I had the professional master diesel mechanic sitting next to me, he could say, grab that wrench, turn that bolt or nut or whatever. I'm not sure what it is. I don't do diesel mechanic stuff. Anyway, move that lever, move this here, do that, and you're done in 10 minutes rather than 10 hours. And that's kind of the beauty of working with a mentor who can take you through the process, keep you on track, and kind of keep kicking you in the butt saying, you're not doing this. This is what I told you to do. Why aren't you doing that? and this is what you promised me. Do you remember promising me this? And it kind of keeps people moving forward. Not everybody. Sometimes they just disappear, and I'm not a babysitter. I don't try to track you down. I treat this the same way that I'd treat a college class if I was teaching a university class. I expect you to show up. I expect you to do the work. I expect you to follow through. And your grade, instead of getting an A for the test, you make money, and you make thousands of dollars. And that's so much better than making an A. All right. Hope that helps.